Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and today we are taking a look at the side chest pose. Now this is not one of the most popular poses, but a necessary one at that. This here is Dan Elsey. He's from the 1960s, of course, and I had to throw this in here. A lot of people say if you can set a glass on top of your chest without it tipping over, well, that's a good side chest. Well, not necessarily, guys. He could probably do that, and a guy like Reg Park, far superior, and he will be really the first gentleman we're going to take a look at. He was the first one, like I said, to exhibit a good side chest pose. It took a good rib cage and, well, it's plain and simple, a big, thick chest, which Reg Park had in spades. There was another gentleman, of course, Sergio Oliva. Now, he had one thick pec, but in my opinion, he just did not display it the best. Now, if you want to combine thick pecs and ability to snap the pose, Lou Ferrigno was one of the best. Very underrated as well. I guess we'll throw in Sergio, honorable mention, but really, he didn't expand that ribcage out like one Lou Ferrigno. But the thing about Lou, I think we missed his prime, and we missed the 80s Lou, and I believe that would have been one heck of a side chest pose. But of course, you may have noticed Arnold Schwarzenegger was walking behind Lou and Serge. And take a look, if you will, at the chest development of the oak. Have you ever seen such a pec development? And not only that, guys, but he hit this pose to a T, perfectly, or he hit it to spec, like I like to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, Arnold Schwarzenegger really put his foot in the ground with this pose. And not unlike a lot of the poses, Arnold, much like the front double bicep, really dominated through the decades. But much like that pose, there was a guy named Robbie Robinson who was every step of the way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Looked fantastic here. And this, of course, is a 1970s picture of Robbie. You can fast forward to, I believe this is 79, not quite 80, but man, his conditioning was top plus. But ladies and gentlemen, the depth was so deep by the 80s. There was guys like Danny Padilla, 5 feet 2 inches, yes, but look at the compact muscle that he had. But to tell you the truth, guys, when you went into the 1980s to look around, I think it was standard issue to have a world-class side chest development. I mean, look at even Tom Platz here, but look at Roy Callender. Even Danny, though, fantastic. Let's see how Arnold would stack up against these guys. I think that he would defeat all of these guys handily. Just too big. I mean, Callender might give him a go just because he's taller, but look at that pack on Arnold. I think he would be the clear winner. And speaking of the 80s, there was another guy here. I mean, come on. This is Samir Banu, the 1983 Mr. Olympia champion. He looked perfect. Absolutely perfect. Of course, as you get into the 80s, the early to mid to late 80s even, there was these two guys. And to be honest, Bertil Fox, I think he hit his prime here. This is 1983, I believe. And he looked good, and he was beating Lee Haney, actually, in my opinion. But Lee eventually grew into this. This is the 1985 Lee Haney. I think that he was clearly better than Bertil Fox at this point. And Bertil, he never got better. He got worse, if anything. But there is one saving grace that we don't really have to dissect those two, because there was this man standing next to Lee Haney. Can you believe this one? Gary Stridham, Stridex, as people call him. Anyway, guys, not making fun of him, but how could you with a side chest development like this? I mean, not only this was earlier on in his career, and he translated it. Look at this. This is Gary when he's in his 40s. No torn pec, no nothing. The guy was built perfect for the side chest pose. But unfortunately, there was not a good selection of pictures of him. This is his more leaner years, the late 80s, I believe. And he was lean, but he still had that big, thick pec. But the camera angle, it's all wrong. Now, here's the best one I could find. He's so thick, and he's still lean. But the camera angle is tilted so thusly. But what the heck? See how Arnold stacks up against Gary Strydom, and I don't know, guys. This is a good one. This is a good one. But then you got into the 90s, and there was Kevin Levrone. Now, could Kevin Levrone beat Strydom? Hard to say, really. That's an early 90s Kevin. Let's bring on the 1998 Kevin Levrone, and yes, I do believe that he'd be a little bit much for Stridex. I do believe. Taking nothing away from Gary Strydom, he looked awesome. One of the best in this pose position, for sure. But Kevin Levrone had a lot of other gentlemen that he had to deal with on the stage, like Paul Dillette, who I believe, yes, Paul is a lot bigger, but look at the pecs, guys. Kevin Levrone clearly built structurally just better. And there was other gentlemen, too. He wasn't just battling with the likes of Paul Dillette. Nasser El-Sonbody. Nasser has the muscle. He surely has the conditioning. But again, Kevin battles back with that just better structure for this pose. He just bows that chest out. Just fantastic. Look at Kevin in a lineup. I believe this is 1998. And look, who looks the best here? Tell me the truth. Who looks the best? Kevin Levrone. He's dwarfing everybody here. Definitely. You can even take a closer look here if you were arguing that Nasser El-Sonbody. Just ignore Sean Ray here. I don't even know why I threw him in here. Sean Ray, one of the worst side chest pose positions for some of the best bodybuilders of all time, that is. So it's a compliment to you, Sean. Don't take it as an insult. You little tiny pee-pee. But anyway, Kevin Levrone just clearly better than Nasser El-Sonbody here. One of the best, so really much like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Kevin Levrone, he really placed his foot in the ground. And there was nobody safe from the Maryland Muscle Machine. Just in case any of you were mentioning this man, the King Coleman. Not even close. Not even one time. So these two, really, they are the best in the side chest pose. But it's hard to really judge these two. I mean, Arnold's hitting that 70s bow. Camera angle is tilted thusly. Kevin Levrone presents the more 90s look, the late 90s look here. Just fantastic. Just curious here. Let's bring Art Atwood up here because I always thought he would give everybody a run for his money. But it's all about levels, guys. Art has those pecs. And look at the hamstrings on the man. But still, the display here. Kevin Levrone, in my opinion, even defeating Art Atwood, if you can believe that one. You fast forward to the future a little bit. A couple of modern guys here. This is, of course, Big Ramy Mamdoua Elsbaye and Cedric McMillan. Now, Cedric, he doesn't have the thick muscle of a Big Ramy Mamdoua Elsbaye, but look at let's take another look at Cedric here. The classical lines. Now, Cedric, he really looks good. Not only does he look good, but he has the muscle, he has the size, and the guy's tall. And you know me, with my poses, of course. I like the taller bodybuilders. Why not? Now, Dexter Jackson. He really looks good in this one. Not as big. And then there's the doctor. Throw him in there. The Dr. Phil Heath. And looking at these three guys, I don't know. I think Cedric McMillan pops back up in my mind. I guess it's the height. So let's bring a real Big Ramy here. I like this version of Big Ramy, and he's just so much bigger than Cedric McMillan. And just for the heck of it, let's bring on Kevin Levrone and have a little timeline here. Ooh, I don't know, guys. Those classical lines of Kevin Levrone, I think he may be, yes, Kevin Levrone, he may be the best, well, more of a modern bodybuilder to hit the side chest pose. Like I said earlier on, he really put his foot in the ground. But then, guys, you got to lean back towards Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think for his time, I think by far He was the best. He was giving guys a run for his money 20, 30 years later. Of course, Kevin Levrone, he was too. So taking nothing away from Kevin Levrone or Arnold Schwarzenegger, these guys are the two best in bodybuilding history to hit this pose, the side chest pose. And I know I like to just pick one guy, but I can't. It's just, you can't judge between these two. It's just too difficult, too different. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this pose video and look forward to the next one because we are getting into the side triceps baby please. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hit thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. Have a great day, guys.